Thanks so much for making the time and doing this. I know this is a topic very, very close to your heart, which is building a great culture at the companies you worked at. I guess the audience won't know, Rahul, that I know you as a man of many moods and colors. I've seen you on the badminton court. I know you as a neighbor. I had you as a colleague at Flipkart. And somehow, in any situation, be it on the baddie court, even when you're losing, however rarely, be it handling crises at Flipkart, you always seem to have this sort of ease of dealing with situations and being relatively unflappable. So before we go into the broader topic of culture, just as a leader, how do you manage to do that?
I think it's basically, I owe a lot of it to the madness that we've been through at Flipkart. Genuinely, you at some point do realize that, look, what is going to happen, you can do your best. After that, you have to just deal with the situation and then make the best of the situation itself and the number of things that we've had to deal with, whether it's been on the competitive front, whether it's been on the regulatory front, whether it's been on internal execution. I think one thing that we learn is the harder we try to push to make sure that things don't go wrong, I think more of it actually does go wrong. So trying to stick to a plan and then expecting that there will be variance and then to deal with it, I think just builds that kind of patience.
Share a little bit of your perspective on sort of the so-called famous divide between business and tech, and is it a real thing? Have you seen it? What do you do as a leader, both at your time at Flipkart and PhonePe? What have you done to sort of deal with that?
Yeah. No, I think the divide is real, right? I think to say that that's not real would be completely wrong. I think if I was to try to summarize why that divide exists, it's basically because of two reasons. On one side, the expectation with engineering organization is said to be an execution arm for the company and not necessarily the end-to-end problem solving arm also, right? You're not positioned as a co-owner of the problem statement, and the problem statement could be purely a business problem statement of how can we make money in what we do, right? And somehow there is this expectation that that needs to be decided by the set of folks who today we are classifying as non-tech or on the business side. And once they've done that, you involve the engineering organization to actually execute. I think that's the first fallacy. The second side is I would say the almost fear psychosis that is driven on the business side or the non-tech side, every corporate function, operations, business, finance, about tech being this beast, which is very difficult to understand, and therefore do not even try to make the attempt, right? And I think that also is a wrong expectation that's set on the other side. It's because of these two things that ultimately the divide gets created. Simply put, the responsibility of leadership on either side is to break this kind of wrong expectation setting. It is not that difficult to even. I've seen folks who on the business side actually you say the word API and they say whoa. They really understand. And it's not because they're not smart, because the expectation we set that this, and it is by a lot of us on the engineering side who have made it that complex, and it is not that complex. It takes a little effort to kind of explain the ecosystem, explain the blueprint of technology, calling out what are the typical challenges, which are the areas that we can growth hack. Putting that effort in actually eases a lot of people on the business side into a conversation, the starting conversation on the technology side, which actually then is great because then they are participative in the problem statement.
Yeah.
The second one is to actually pull in the engineering teams from day one when you're actually trying to think of a problem statement, even before getting to how you will actually implement it, right? Unfortunately, you don't, and the value that you can realize through genuinely being a technology company comes in only when you actually involve the technology guys, not just the CTO, but or the VP of engineering, but even beyond that, your architects or your best solution engineers. you'll realize that the amount of value extraction that you can get through technology for the business side is multifold.
And is this
Right.
a reality in PhonePe today?
It's a huge reality. I'll tell you, I can give you multiple examples, right? Like the recharge conversation, by the way, is a real example, right? Thinking
Yes.
of building revenue aware systems is a real example so that we
Yeah.
can actually start building out our revenue optimization models that are real time, because a lot of our flows, if you take it's ultimately a theory of constraints or a operational research problem where you have multiple variables and you want to maximize revenue and balance it with consumer experience. We did first time we did an entire re-architecture of our Android app, and multiple reasons to do it, right? And it would take 3 months, which means that effectively for 3 months to 3.5 months, we didn't have any new features outside of bug fixes going out on the Android app, which is a huge call. Now, to make that call itself, the approach that we took was to say that what are the phases in which we'll do this execution? Create a clear understanding of priority of those phases and translate each of those phases into product goodness where we could or we can, right? And one of the product goodnesses outside of many was the ability to actually iterate much faster on a lot of the feature sets. We were basically breaking down the app into multiple modules so that gold as a category, recharge as a category, peer-to-peer payments as a category, switch as a category would all effectively be micro applications over a common platform, which wasn't there before. And therefore, when one code change happened, the amount of testing effort, etc., would be much more. Now, to explain this like this versus to say that each of these categories can then drive their own releases on their own timelines and stand behind possibly a commitment like that to business. Business also understands and product understands there is value to that, because today we do step over each other. We hire software engineers, but we actually expect what you'd expect from a developer, right?
Yeah.
And there's a difference.
Yes.
Most people think software engineer, developer are interchangeable terms.
First person who taught me the significance of the difference between the two terms, Rahul.
Yeah, so a developer churns out code. A software engineer solves problems. I mean, it's no different than an engineer who's constructing a bridge. Understands what's the problem statement, how much we are supposed to be, how much traffic is going to go on this, what is the kind of tolerance we need to receive, what is the wind direction, all of that, right? Before he even starts putting the first brick.
Correct.
A software engineer is like that. A software engineer needs to understand the problem statement. A software engineer needs to challenge the problem statement. Software engineer needs to bring views from his or her functional skills, which is on the development side, right?
Yes.
And including them as a part of that process is what the engineer expected, the software engineer expected when he or she joined the company. But if the role is reduced to being a developer, and again, after the release has happened, it's like, okay, now we'll take over and we'll run with it. You need to involve them in the data cuts, look at them on the analysis. Why isn't the uptake as much as we expected? All of those discussions, right? So that whole build, measure, learn, build cycle that we talk about, we tend to compartmentalize the role of the engineer to development. And I think that's where the angst comes in. It's very important to ensure that you're living up to the promise of using them as a software engineer versus using them just as a developer.